Effective appointment setting is a vital part of every agency offering a lead generation service, but with so many people getting this wrong, I wanted to record this video to reveal my system so you can go out there and implement an appointment setting system yourself in your agency today. In fact, this is actually one of the highest requested videos I've had in a very long time on this channel, with tens of you requesting this in the last couple of weeks alone. So we'll waste no time, we'll get straight into this because it's going to be a chunky video today. So we're going to be going through our exact workflow, okay? So every single step of this system, the tools that we use to implement appointment setting, do's and don'ts, and finally, if we've got time, we'll touch on some team workflows and hiring processes as well. Now, this is predominantly for appointment setting on behalf of your clients. So when you generate leads, you want to make sure that you're actually converting those leads, but you can use the thesis, the systems that we're going through today on your own agency to get more clients and set more appointments for your business, okay? So let's get into it. I want to start off by giving you a little bit of an overview, or just having a reminder of an overview of the agency service, okay? So let's presume we've already signed up a client. What we're typically going to do, if we're a lead generation agency, and that means we're working with businesses that need leads. So this isn't really e-commerce agencies where we're generating direct sales. These are companies like estheticians, okay, who work with an agency because they want to get more people booked into their calendar, paying for their services. So we sign up the client. The first thing we do is we're going to run some kind of a lead ad, okay? So this could be a lead form, but it could also be a landing page, okay, with a lead form on it. It doesn't really matter. Either will work the same. And typically speaking, what we used to do here is, as an agency, we would generate a bunch of leads for our client and we would send them over on a CSV, okay? So when I first started, we would simply give our clients a big list, a CSV list of leads, and say, hey, there we go, you can go call them up and go and close them. Now, what actually ended up happening with so many of these clients is they would have a really shit sales system. And so you get a call at the end of the month from the client and they'd say, oh, you gave me 20 leads, but I only converted 2 of them. And then the agency owners left there puzzled, thinking, why has this business not closed more leads? Because I know the ads are good. And it all boils down to a bad appointment setting system on the side of the client. And you've got to give them a bit of slack, right? They're out there running their business. They've got bigger fish to fry, okay? You're just this new agency that's come along, told them you're going to make loads of money. They're not investing the time into these leads as they should be. And so the solution here is for you to take the appointment setting side away from the client. And so now the industry standard is that agency owners will appointment set on behalf of their clients. So when we generate leads, it doesn't just stop there. We no longer send over a list on a CSV. Instead, we will use systems like Go High Level, okay, which is simply a CRM. Okay? High Level is what I would recommend for the majority of agency owners. If you haven't used CRM systems before, it's the easiest thing that you can use. It's built for agency owners. I've used a lot over the years. You can use Close, you can use HubSpot, you can use Pipedrive, but High Level is a great place to start for those of you that don't have experience in the sales industry. But ultimately, you can use whatever you want. Okay, and from that CRM, we're then going to appointment set. Okay, pretty simple. You get the idea. So what I'm going to be showing you today is the CRM system. I'm also going to be showing you this appointment setting system. We'll start off with the CRM and we'll kind of flip between the two as we progress through this video. So the CRM we use is called Go High Level. This is an all-in-one management system for agency owners. You'll see I've got a logo here called Just Close. They allow you to white label the software. So our white label version is Just Close, but you would see a High Level logo in the top corner here, okay? Now, you don't just use this for your clients, you can use this for your agency, you can build your website on this, you can set up your automations, you can send your invoices, blah, 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 blah. I can create another video on High Level in the future if you want me to, let me know in the comments down below. But for the purpose of this video, what I want to show you is the Opportunities tab, okay? So the Opportunities tab on High Level gives us a view of what is called a pipeline. And a pipeline is simply a series of buckets or stages in which a potential customer is in. It's basically the stages of their sales journey, okay, their customer journey. So here we have new lead, conversations, ghosting, appointment set, no-show, cancellation, negotiation, clients closed, and nurturing, okay? And you can edit these pipeline stages by going over to pipeline, and then we can hit this pencil. So we can change these stages, and you want to make sure these are relevant to your client, okay, depending on the industry that you're in, depending on the niche you're reaching out to. But these would really There's quite a lot of buckets. I like to keep things very granular, okay? So if you don't know me, by the way, guys, this is the first video you stumbled across me. I own a 7-figure agency. We used to work in lead generation. Now we work with e-commerce. I've literally closed millions of new revenue in the agency industry, and I've probably made over 100,000 cold calls over the years in various different sales companies that I've worked for. So I know a thing or two when it comes about sales and managing pipelines. And these buckets, okay, are like a one-size-fits-all. You could use these for any business. Some agencies will like to maybe have only 5 buckets and make this less granular. I like to really boil things down on a molecular level so I can understand the exact stage that a potential customer is at on the journey. It's completely your choice the way you do this, though. Okay, so we go back on this pipeline. If we click on any of these, we can look at all of their details, and this will be the same on any CRM tool. So we can see their name, we can see which pipeline they're on. Most importantly, we can see notes, okay? And this is where we're going to enter any details of any conversation that we're having with any potential customer, right? We'll come back to this in a moment, but I wanted to give you this brief understanding of a pipeline. But first of all, I want to run you through the overall workflow when it comes to appointment setting with your lead. So I built this out on Figma for our private community in the Affluent Academy, but I'm going to give this to you guys today so you can get a good idea of this system, because it's so important to me that if so many agencies out there are starting, if so many people want to go out there and start these businesses, okay, you go out there and deliver a really good service. I don't want you to go out there, sign up clients using the information from my YouTube channel and not be able to deliver an incredible service, because what you're going to do is you're going to damage the reputation of all other agencies. People are going to get burnt, they're not going to make money, and we're just not living in a nice world when that isn't happening, okay? So I want you guys to focus on improving your service over time. Okay, so we start off with our 2 inputs. We have either lead form or a conversion ad to landing page. Okay, now for those of you that really are starting fresh, let me just show you what a Facebook lead form looks like. If you're watching this before you've even got started with your agency, Facebook lead form ad is a simple ad. You simply click on it and you fill in your information. Okay, it's a simple lead form. Okay, and it has bespoke questions on there to qualify you, and then your information gets sent over to whoever created the ad to the company, right? And then we also have a landing page, but I would always recommend you starting off with a lead form. It's a general rule of thumb. If it doesn't work on a lead form, it's not going to work on a landing page. A landing page will get higher quality leads, but it will get less leads, okay? So start off with a lead form, then move over to a landing page. Unless it's a high-ticket business, okay, and they're selling a service that needs a lot of explanation, and you can't just explain it on one simple lead form. When you are running a lead form, always add 1 to 3 questions though. Make sure you are pre-qualifying the prospect. Okay, so let's say it's home improvements and it's for extensions, for example. You might ask, how long have you been looking to get an extension? You might ask, tell us a bit about your project. You might ask, let us know what budget you have in mind. Okay, and these questions will allow you to get a higher quality lead straight off the bat without you even having to contact the lead. But bear in mind, with every additional question, you will get drop-off. So you want to minimize the questions and have a maximum of 3 additional on your lead form. So these are our inputs. And the first step that we have in this appointment setting system is a go high level workflow that when somebody fills in this lead form or fills in a form on our landing page, it's going to trigger our lead notification flow. And a workflow is simply an automation on Go High Level. Let me show you this. If I click automations, I've got a bunch set up. And these are really simple to set up. This is a workflow and automation which is triggered when somebody submits the Facebook lead form, okay? Now, what that then does is it creates an opportunity on the pipeline, okay? So in the paid ads pipeline, and it's going to add a lead in new lead pipeline stage. The opportunity name is going to be the company name, and the opportunity source is going to be Facebook ads. It's then going to add the tag Facebook ads, because I like to track where everyone's coming from on tags as well. And we send an SMS to the team. This is really important. This is either going to be sent to yourself or to your team, depending on the size of your agency. But initially, it's going to be sent to yourself. You want to get notified as soon as a lead fills in a form on behalf of one of your clients, so you can contact that lead as soon as possible, because all the same sales rules apply. The lead is at their hottest, okay, so at their most keen when they fill in the form. They're going to get colder with every hour that goes along. So set up some kind of a notification that basically says, hey, we've got a new Facebook lead. This is their name, this is their company name, this is their phone number, and any other relevant information based on the companies you're working with, okay? We're going through this broad right now. You'll have to tailor this to your individual client. And one other thing that I would like to do, which I think is important, is I will also add an additional step within here. Now, this is a dummy account, so we don't have this. To add a note to the contact, okay? Because we want to allow space to add notes based on the information that somebody has filled in on the lead form for those custom questions, those 1 to 3 qualification questions that we just went through, okay? So how do we add input into this note area? Well, first of all, we need to actually integrate our Facebook account. So if you go down to settings and we hit integrations, okay, we hit connect Facebook account, okay, so you hit that connect button, you're going to log in on Facebook and it's going to allow you to connect a Facebook ad account, okay, you're going to assign it to your client's account. The next step is you want to go on Facebook form fields mapping, and what it will automatically do is recognize Facebook forms that you have on that ad account, okay, and all of the questions, the custom questions that you have there. Okay, there is a resource here, I'll put it in the description, but it'll give you an idea of what this looks like. We've got these custom fields on the left-hand side here, and we can name them. And we're essentially just giving them a key, okay? So this is basically how we identify the information in Go High Level, okay? And we can add custom fields off the back of this, okay? So I'll put a link in the description if you get stuck on this, but it is very self-explanatory, and you're literally just going to go through a step-by-step instruction. So then when you do come to setting up your notification flow, you're very simply going to hit add to notes, you're going to hit here, custom values, contact, custom fields at the bottom, and you're going to add those additional questions. And then what that is going to do, when you've got a new lead coming through into your pipeline, under notes, you're going to have all of the custom questions, all your qualification questions pulled in straight from Facebook, straight onto the lead, so you can identify, before you even contact the lead, whether they are qualified or not. And that is the next step, okay? The next step is identifying on initial look, based on the questions that they answered, is this lead qualified or are they unqualified? Are they suitable or are they unsuitable? Okay, so let's just say they are unqualified. Well, the simple next step is we're going to move that lead to the unqualified stage on the pipeline. We're going to put them in that bucket, okay? And then as a manual action, okay, we could send them an SMS or a WhatsApp rejection message. You could, of course, automate this as well, okay? I like to recommend manually doing everything to start off with, okay? That's why I have manual actions written here. But all of these kind of things in blue, you can automate through different workflows in Go High Level. But I always think, as with cold calling, as with delivering results for your clients, as an agency owner or any business owner for that matter, it's more important that you do things manually yourself so you can actually understand them. If you automate everything in your business, if you hire team members to do everything for you on your behalf, you're never truly going to understand how it all works. And then are you ever truly going to be able to sell it to the best of your ability if you don't understand it? You're going to be too reliant on other team members. You're going to be too reliant on software. And your skill set isn't going to be growing. So do this manually for a couple of weeks to start off with, and then automate it and get the benefit of ease down the line, but after you understand the whole process, okay? So let's say we have looked at one of these leads and they are qualified. What's going to happen then? We're going to move them to the qualified stage on the pipeline, okay? So we're going to chuck them over to the next bucket. It's not even the next bucket. That's an outreach pipeline. It's the qualified bucket, okay? So for the purpose of this, we can create an opportunity. Cool. Fine. There's already that. You already exist. Okay, let's just add this person here. So they're created. We're going to chuck them in to the qualified bucket. All right, what happens next? Well, manual action, you're going to send an SMS or a WhatsApp message, okay, straight over to this lead. So you would go on here, okay, you could see this contact, and now all we want to do is, if we come off here actually, we can send them a message. So we go view conversations, and we can engage in a conversation with Kyle, okay? So now this is an email right now, okay? But we can send an SMS, we just don't have a mobile number. But if I put a fake mobile number in here, there you go, then we can send a text SMS instead, okay? So if we refresh this page, we can now send an SMS. And we're speaking broadly for all niches here. I'm going to give you a basic format for the first welcome or acknowledgement message that you're going to send over to a lead. So we're going to have greeting, and the next step is going to be able to zoom in. Next step is going to be acknowledgement. Butchered that. No, I have. There we go. And finally, it's going to be a call to action. Okay. So let's follow suit. Let's say we're doing home improvements and it's for extension, like a home extension. We might say, hey Kyle, thanks for applying for a design consultation or free design consultation, depending on the offer. Are you free for a quick call today to discuss details? Thanks. Or you could say, Jordan, company name. You can say regards, okay? Keep it simple. If this was for an esthetician, for example, and it's for Botox, it could be, thanks for applying for our 2-for-1 Botox Botox offer. Are you free for a quick call to arrange a clinic visit or to arrange an appointment? You get the idea. Greeting, acknowledgement, call to action, but it's a soft call to action, okay? You don't want to just send a link like, here's a link to book a call, okay? You're not going to get as many conversions as being human here. Just like when we're doing outreach emails to our potential clients. If someone says, yeah, I'd like to have a meeting with you, and you're like, sure, here's my calendar, book in a call, you're not going to be able to book in as many calls. You want to have that human element within there. So we've sent an SMS. What's the next thing that we're going to do? We've sent this message, and we can automate this. Again, we can set up a workflow. We've got all these workflows, all automated, all set up, already integrated into our high level, and all of our members in the academy have access to that as well. But I would recommend doing it manually to start off with for you guys, right? But you can, of course, automate action. Next step is going to be giving them a call. And I don't care if you just sent this SMS or if you automate this SMS, it's just gone out, the lead's just filled in the form, give them a call as quickly as possible. A call will always convert the best. It's the easiest way to get hold of someone and book a meeting with them. You might have to have 5 back and forth exchanges via email or SMS, and even then they'll read your message and ghost you and say they're going to respond to you later. Something comes up, they got busy, they never respond, you don't get hold of them. And this is the biggest mistake that the majority of agency owners make when it comes to appointment setting. They rely on automation workflows, on SMS or email, God forbid AI chatbots, okay, which do have their place, and I'll talk about them later, and they refuse to cold call these leads, or not even cold call, it's a warm call, because they're lazy, because it takes up time. It does take up time, but if you want to get the best results for your clients, you need to be calling these leads and appointment setting them. And later down the line, you can outsource this to a team member who can call them on your behalf. But you will drop at least 50% conversion rate if you rely on messaging alone. So, what does this call format actually look like? I'm going to give you a base format here, and I'm going to write it down. Say they actually answer. I'm going to give you that base format again, and it's very similar. It's a greeting, okay? And it's going to be acknowledgement. Watch me fuck up that spelling again. And then it's going to be qualification, and then it's going to be call to action. So it's pretty much the same format as what we're going through in that SMS that we sent out, in that email or SMS. You can do both, by the way. You can send an email as well, depending on the client. It's the same format, but we're adding this step of qualification. And the qualification step is just going to be making sure that they've got budget, making sure that they're serious, okay? Now, this might be what their budget is. It might be how long they've been looking for this service, and therefore how serious they are. And you want to validate the questions that you've already asked in the Facebook lead form to make sure they're correct. And most importantly, ask your client. Ask your client what a qualified lead is to them. How did they define a qualified lead? And therefore, that's going to give you the ability to come up with some very basic questions that qualify leads on these calls. And don't be nervous about these, okay? You're literally speaking to someone that's already raised their hand. They're already interested in this product or service. So this is simply a customer service call. Open up, be friendly with them, ask them some questions about themselves and about the service, and then you can hand them off over to the client or book them in for a meeting. In fact, instead of me going in with more theory around this, I'm going to show you some live appointment setting calls that I did only a few weeks ago. And these calls were for a kitchen and bathroom fitter.
Hello?
Hi, is that
Asia?
Hi, it's Jordan calling from. How are you doing?
Yes, good, thank you.
Good. Have I caught you at a good time for a couple minutes?
Yeah, fine. Yeah, I'm not sure if I thought when I replied to your thing on Facebook that you did kind of refurbs in painting kitchens, but you don't. You offer a whole refit service, don't you?
We do, yeah. I mean, what was it specifically you're looking to get done?
So I've bought a second-hand kitchen, but a better quality than what I've got, and I'm looking to have that kind of adapted and put into my kitchen.
Okay. That may be something we would be able to do. What I would want to do though is I just want to speak to the team and just check first. And if it is, I can give you a call back, and then we can go for it. So you've already got everything, all the furnishings and so on for the kitchen. You need someone to fit it for you, basically.
Yeah, it'll need to be kind of cut about and fit, but I've got lots and new kitchen and only quite a small kitchen. So, yeah, there's lots of stuff there, but I'll just need to kind of be which bits need to be fitted where and stuff like that.
Okay, not a problem at all. Okay, and so what I'll do is I'll speak to the team, and then I will give you a call back and just have a conversation. So just so I'm aware though, we want to come out and have a look at the stuff. If all being well and we can come out and do a quote, what's your availability like next week for us to come have a look?
Next week. Monday afternoon I'm free.
Okay.
Wednesday.
What else have you got?
I've got Tuesday's not too bad.
Yeah.
Wednesday morning isn't looking too bad. Thursday and Friday are pretty stacked out though.
Okay, not a problem at all. And then, just so I know, would it be similar availability for the week after, or are you pretty clear for the week after?
Week after I'm on annual leave, so I'm fairly clear.
Okay, amazing. Okay, leave it with me then, and I will speak to the team and then I'll give you a call back.
Brilliant. Okay.
Perfect. Thanks. Take care. Cheers. Bye-bye. Bye.
Hello, speaking.
Hi, it's Jordan calling from. How are you doing?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Have I caught you at a good time for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, at the moment it's fine.
Okay, no problem. I saw you filled in our Facebook form and just wanted to speak to you about your kitchen that needs refitting. I know you mentioned that you only need the left side doing, so I just wanted to find out a little bit more about that.
Yeah, what it is, we moved into the property about 4 years ago, or just over 4 years ago, and it appears that it was halfway through, the lady suddenly passed away, and it was halfway through a kitchen rebuild. And they've done the right-hand side with the electrics, everything, the cupboards is absolutely fine.
Okay.
But the left-hand side where it would be like the sink and the cooker and things like that is still left as it was.
Okay.
So that's what we were looking at, is for someone to fit, and also because it's because of the fittings of everything. And the shape of the kitchen as well, it was sort of, we were unsure on how to sort of do the kitchen, so I said we'd get someone in professional to have a look and sort of give us a plan to do it.
Fine. No, that makes sense. Yeah, we can definitely do that. And is the flooring and everything done?
Sorry?
Is the flooring and everything already done?
No, the flooring will need doing as well.
Okay, absolutely
so we
fine.
weren't sure whether to get the flooring done before the kitchen. You know what I mean? We weren't sure which way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's absolutely fine. Or what I want to do, or what I think would be best, is when people get in the back in today after, because everyone's out on doing jobs at the moment, I'll have a conversation with the team and I'll see when we're available to come out and do a quote, and then I'll get someone to give you a call within the next 24. But just so I know, for next week, what is your availability like?
I work Monday to Friday, so any time after 5 o'clock or weekends.
Okay, so
weekends preferably.
Okay.
If possible.
Prefer weekends. That's absolutely fine. And would it would be the same availability for the week after, basically. So if for whatever reason we couldn't come out next week, would it be the same availability for the week after as well?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, absolutely fine.
There's no rush at the moment. I'm waiting for the money to be transferred anyway, so that's going to take a while.
Okay, not a problem. Do you have a timeline on that, or?
Not that it should be. I was told it within 4 to 6 weeks. That it should be less than that. But that's the top. But yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. All right then. Well, I'll speak to the team and I'll get someone to give you a call within the next 24 hours just to arrange a quote.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Take care. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that'll give you an idea, of course, tailor it to your own clients. So we've had a conversation with a client, they answered, okay, it's gone positively, they're qualified, what do we do now? Well, the ultimate goal is a booked meeting, okay, or an appointment. Okay, hence appointment setting. Okay, and this isn't always you booking this appointment. For example, you'll notice on those calls, I didn't book the appointment directly. The client actually wanted me to hand over the details of a qualified lead straight to them so they can call them up and arrange a home visit. Okay, contractors typically work on very sporadic timetables. They don't really know when they're going to be free. They might finish earlier today and therefore they can go visit someone's home. And so they want to call them up and see if they're free so they can go and do that visit. So that was the arrangement I had with that client. But let's say you're working with a hair transplant clinic. Okay, a hair transplant clinic, they're going to want you to book in appointments straight onto their calendar. Okay, so you might have access to their Calendly, or you could do this on Go High Level, or you can do this on their own system, whatever calendar system they're using. It might be Google Calendars. But you'll be able to speak to those leads on the phone and actually book them in straight to the availability, hence appointment setting. And at this point, your job is done for the majority of agencies. Most businesses are pretty happy at that point. You can go further than this and start managing when the meeting's attended. Okay, is the client closed? Have they cancelled? Have you got a cancellation flow? Did they no-show and therefore setting up a no-show flow? But all these things I'm going to save for another time. In fact, we go through this in depth in the academy, so I'm not going to go through this right now. It's more relevant for if you are getting deep and granular into the back-end sales process of working with your clients, which high-level agencies will do, and you won't necessarily will until you're established, making over 10K a month. But it is important when it comes to actually using this process for managing your own agency, because of course you're going to get no-shows, you're going to be negotiating, you're going to get cancellations, and we have a series of different workflows that you can set up on that basis. But that's not relevant for this video. Just keep everything as relevant as possible. What about if someone doesn't answer? Well, this is simple. What we're going to do is we're going to set a task reminder to call tomorrow, but it's really important if they don't answer first time round, double dial them. You always want to double dial leads. What do I mean by that? You call them, dial, no answer, okay, call them, dial, straight away, okay? Because sometimes people are driving, they don't recognize the number, they're a little bit nervous, they don't answer. Then they answer the second time because they think it's important. And then you have a positive conversation with that lead. So always make sure that you double dial. If they don't answer, then set yourself a task or a reminder to call them tomorrow. Okay, so to do that, all we need to do, we go on the lead, we just called them up. We're going to go on task and we're going to click add. And we're going to set ourselves a reminder. Okay, we've got the due date there to call this lead up tomorrow. And we're going to call this lead every day. Okay, we're going to go round and call them every day. If they don't answer, we'll call them every single day, just like we would when we're cold calling. Don't be afraid to hammer these leads, okay? They are not cold leads. Remember that these leads raised their hand. They've expressed interest in the service, therefore they've given us permission to sell. So them not answering the first time round is not an indicator that they're not interested. It simply means that they're busy and they can't get to the phone right now. So you need to call these leads on a daily basis until you get either a yes or a no. And sometimes a no is as good as a yes because it gives you permission to stop following up with them and stop wasting time. Sometimes people just change their mind, and that's absolutely okay. But on a daily basis, you're going to be going through this cycle. You're going to call them up, you're going to get an answer, and then you're going to try and book them in, or you're going to call them up, you're going to get no answer, you're going to remind yourself for a call the next day, and you're going to go round on this cycle until you get an answer from each and every lead, until you squeeze a yes or a no. Now, whilst you are doing these calls, you can set up an automation to be following up with these leads via SMS, or email or WhatsApp automatically. Roughly every 2 days, I would recommend following up with these leads until you get an answer. If you get a positive response, then you're going to move that lead onto the conversations pipeline, the conversations tab. Now, this is actually the most important stage in the pipeline. This is the stage that you're going to check first every single day, because these are the leads you're actively engaging in conversation with that you haven't yet managed to book an appointment with. So you're going to check this every day and ultimately try and get them booked in for a meeting, which is our end goal. If we get a negative response from these automations on SMS or email, then we can just simply remove them from the pipeline. We don't need to waste our time with this contact anymore, but they will be hosted in our contacts tab, so we can get their information if we want to do a reignition campaign in the future, if we've got a new offer that we're launching, for example. So we also have those contacts, but we do want to remove them from the active pipeline. If we're calling them daily and we're sending these automated messages and we're not hearing anything from them, okay, then we can add them to the ghosting stage on our pipeline. I like to add them to the ghosting stage on the pipeline if we haven't heard anything from the lead in 5 days. So we can automatically add them to that stage through a workflow. That's going to start what we call the ghosting flow, and that is simply another email/SMS follow-up sequence, which is a little bit, it's kind of different tonality here. It's like, hang on, you filled in this form, but I haven't heard from you yet. What happened here? Have you changed your mind? Etc. And there are a series of different SMSs and emails that we would then send over to that lead. I'll leave that open to your imagination on how you go ahead and set that up. So the most important thing to take from this workflow is we are plugging the holes in absolutely all areas, okay? If we're calling them up, we're sending them SMS, if they don't respond, we're putting them in a ghosting flow. These leads cannot escape without giving us some kind of an answer, whether it's a yes or a no. And it's the same thought process that we're following when it comes to our own outreach for our agency, okay? We call up every lead on our lead sheet, we email every lead on our lead sheet, we send them a DM until we get an answer out of every single lead. If you're not not doing that, you are just wasting opportunity along the road. So this is our appointment setting system. And for all of these workflows, we've got them already set up inside of our program, the Affluent Academy. If you are in the Academy and you haven't yet accessed all of these paid ads flows, the outbound organic flows as well, absolutely every email and SMS that you can send, it's already built for you guys that you can access. Go check out the high level training inside of the program, or click the link in the description if you haven't yet checked that out. So let's very quickly touch on teams, okay? And it's pretty simple, okay, when it comes to appointment setting teams, okay? First of all, you're going to be able to manage as a solo founder, realistically, depending on how much money you're spending from your clients, you're probably going to be able to manage 3 to 6 clients by yourself, okay? That's what you're truly going to be able to manage if you are offering an appointment setting service as well, because you're realistically going to be generating maybe 1 or 2 leads a day per client and calling them up and following up those leads, etc. 3 to 6 clients is what you're going to be looking at, and you're going to be earning at this point anything from 3K or even 2K in some cases, all the way up to 10K. In other cases, realistically 8K though. Let's keep this nice and conservative, okay? So you've got budget there to spend. You've got money to blow on building a team, okay? Now, you're probably going to hire somebody in the ads department, okay? So you're going to want to have a media buyer. You're going to want to pay anything from 1K to 2K for your first media buyer, okay? For a junior media buyer starting. And this is actually an optional role. You might still want to run the ads yourself, okay, at this point. That's absolutely fine, but I'm going to just quickly build this out on the basis of you not wanting to run your ads yourself at all and just being able to focus on sales. Because you're then going to want to hire an appointment setter as well. And a setter is going to be able to manage the entire workflow that we went through today. And you can pay anything from, let's say, $600 all the way up to 2K, but realistically you don't want to be paying more than 1.5K for your first appointment setter. These are entry-level roles, okay? These are people with limited experience. I say limited experience because people who've got experiences in these roles, but they haven't worked for like tens and tens of different agencies, and therefore you're paying a smaller amount of money for these people. They're going to be perfectly suitable for the level of agency that you're going to be running. But where are you actually going to find these people, okay? Because it's quite specific. So I can create a whole video on this, guys. If you want me to like talk about this in more detail, then we can. But I would hire from LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs is an amazing talent pool. And then we also have Facebook groups, okay? And you want to create like a simple type form, okay? Type form interview questionnaire that people can fill in to apply so you can qualify those individuals so you don't waste time. I'd hire from South Africa predominantly. That's where you're going to get a low-cost talent pool that's going to be incredibly high quality, perfect spoken English, which is very important when you're dealing with appointment setters that are calling up your clients in the UK or the US. You want to make sure the English is perfect. Or Eastern Europe is another really great option here. South America, another really great option, okay? And then we do have places like India and the Philippines, okay? But these aren't as suitable. These are great for these media buyer roles, okay? But not as great for appointment setters. These are more suitable for appointment setters because of the perfect spoken English, which is very important when you are speaking on behalf of clients. And that is, of course, going to slice your profit margins. You're probably going to sacrifice like 30-40% of your profit margins here, but you're then going to have the capacity to scale up, and okay, it does depend on your industry, to scale up to anything from 10 to 15 clients with this infrastructure and be making anything from 10 to 20K per month plus, okay? So now you're a lot more profitable in your agency. You're no longer delivering a service, okay, yourself, okay? You're delivering an exceptional service, getting incredible results for your clients, but you can just focus on the vision, you can focus on scaling the team, you can focus on the sales, okay? And just continue scaling the business up. Now, you might want another couple of team members here, like a copywriter or a content creator, for example, depending on the clients that you're working with. But this is giving you a basic example. If you want me to go into this in more detail in another video in the future, I will do. Drop a comment down below. But for now, that is the appointment setting system. Go implement it. Take pride in your service. Over-deliver to each and every one of your clients, and you will scale your agency infinitely. I'll see you soon. Cheers.